The first thing Lyra ever knew was the pressure of the deep, the cold kiss of the abyssal current, and the haunting songs of the leviathans that passed like living mountains in the dark. She was a creature of the midnight zone, where sunlight was a myth and bioluminescence was the only currency of beauty. Her own skin was a tapestry of soft, silver light, and her tail, the color of a starless night, could flicker with sudden, startling constellations when she was alarmed. Her world was small, defined by the volcanic vents that warmed her kind and the endless, crushing dark above. The elders sang of the sky ceiling, a solid, impenetrable barrier that separated their world from the void beyond. To seek it was folly, to break it was death. But Lyra was woven from different threads than the others. While her kin found solace in the familiar gloom, she was haunted by a different song. It wasn't the low thrum of the vents or the chorus of the deep-sea hunters. It was a faint, piercing melody that drifted down from above, a sound of such fragile, crystalline beauty that it made her heart ache. It was the song of the surface, carried on the rare currents that deigned to dive so low. It is the song of the drowned, her mother would say, her own lights dim with warning. It is the sound of madness, of things that are not for us. Yet, the pull was magnetic. The song spoke of warmth, of vastness, of a light that did not flicker but burned. It whispered of a different kind of life, one that was not about enduring the pressure, but about breathing. One day, the song did not fade. It grew stronger, a siren's call woven with grief and longing. It was a risk she could no longer resist. Ignoring the frantic, flashing warnings of her pod, Lyra began to swim upward. The journey was a trial in itself. The pressure, once a comforting embrace, lessened, making her feel lightheaded and fragile. The water grew warmer, shifting from frigid black to cool indigo, then to a soothing, gentle blue. She passed through forests of kelp that danced in a current she had never felt, and schools of fish that exploded in colors she had no names, for colors that existed only in the tales of the reckless. And then, she saw it. Above her, the sky ceiling was not solid at all. It was a shimmering, undulating mirror, fractured and alive. With a heart hammering against her ribs, she broke through. The world exploded. The light was an assault. It was a golden, blazing fury that scalded her eyes and made her silver glow seem pathetic. She gasped, and instead of life-giving water, a thin, invisible substance filled her lungs. She choked, panicked, sinking back beneath the waves. But the memory of that light was branded onto her vision. After a moment of terror, she tried again, slower this time, letting her head break the surface and breathing the strange air in shallow, cautious sips. Her eyes adjusted. The vastness was incomprehensible. The blue went on forever, dotted with impossibly fluffy shapes. And the light was everything. It was warmth on her face. It made the water sparkle like a billion diamonds. It was the source of the song. There, on a nearby outcropping of rock, was the singer. A human. He was young, with sun-bleached hair and skin the color of sand, drawing a bow across a wooden instrument, creating the heartbreaking melody that had called her here. Lyra watched, mesmerized. This was the source of the beauty. This fragile, air-breathing creature was capable of such art. For days, she returned, hiding in the waves, listening. She saw his sadness, the way his eyes scanned the horizon, as if searching for something he'd lost. Her journey was no longer about defiance or curiosity. It became about understanding. She, a creature of the crushing deep, and he, a creature of the boundless air, were connected by a song of longing. She realized the elders were wrong. The surface wasn't about madness or death. It was about a different perspective. Her world was one of profound pressure and hidden light. His was one of open air and scorching light. Both were true. Both were beautiful. One evening, as he played a particularly sorrowful tune, she found herself humming along, her voice a low, melodic thrum that rose from the water and wove around his notes. The music stopped. He stood up, peering at the waves. Lyra didn't dive. She stayed, letting him see the silver glow of her skin, the dark shimmer of her tail just below the surface. He did not scream. He did not run. He simply knelt, his eyes wide with wonder. He played a single, questioning note. She answered with a soft, rising tone. They did not speak the same language. They could never inhabit the same world. But in that moment, they understood each other perfectly. He was an island, lonely in a vast sea. She was a deep-sea creature, lonely in a vast darkness. They were both, in their own ways, searching for a connection that proved they were not alone in the universe. Lyra finally understood. Her journey wasn't about becoming something else. It wasn't about choosing the deep over the surface, or the surface over the deep. Her self-discovery was the realization that she was the bridge. She was the proof that beauty existed in the crushing dark and the blazing light. That song could be found in the water and in the air. That her home was not just the abyss, but the entire ocean, from the volcanic vents to the shimmering surface, and that her spirit was vast enough to encompass it all. She smiled at the human, a gesture he seemed to understand, before diving back into the welcoming embrace of the deep. She carried a new song within her now, one not of longing, but of wholeness. She was Lyra, who knew the pressure of the abyss and the kiss of the sun, and she was, finally, completely, herself. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.